Okay, I want you to picture something for me. Close your eyes. Well, not if you're driving, obviously.
Right.
You're in your kitchen. It's not, I don't know, a Tuesday night. It's been a long day. And you are just staring at a sink full of dirty dishes.
Oh, I know this scene.
It's grim. There's a pot with, like, fried pasta sauce on it from Sunday. The vibe is, it's low.
What?
But then, suddenly, from nowhere, a full studio-quality gospel choir kicks in.
Okay.
I'm talking high-energy, soul-shaking vocals, a Hammond organ, everything, and they're singing, "Wash the dishes, RSVP, babe. I need you to RSVP, babe."
That is a very vivid image. And frankly, I think we've all needed that specific choir at some point in our lives.
Right. It totally changes the energy.
Yeah.
Or, okay, scenario 2. You're just scrolling on your phone, you see a photo of your cat sleeping, and instantly there's a country ballad playing.
A country ballad.
Slide guitar, gravelly voice, real emotion.
Yeah.
And it's specifically about your cat, with lyrics like, "I'll be the cowboy of your dreams."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my cat, a furry blessing.
A furry blessing. That is, well, it's poetic in a very internet sort of way.
It's not a hallucination, I promise. This is the new reality of creative expression. Because today, we are doing a deep dive into Google's brand new music generation model, Lyria 3.
Mm-hmm.
It just dropped into the Gemini app, hot off the presses, February 2026, and the internet is already getting weirdly obsessed with it.
It's getting a lot of attention for sure. But I think we need to look past the novelty of the cat songs for a minute.
Okay.
Because this isn't just a fun little toy. This is a major pivot point in generative media. We've seen text change writing, images master the visual world, but high fidelity, controllable audio with actual coherent lyrics. That's been the final frontier for a long, long time.
And that's exactly our mission today.
Right.
We're going to unpack what Lyria 3 actually is beyond all the memes.
Yeah.
We'll look at how it's turning us from, passive listeners into active creators.
Even if you have no musical talent.
None. I can't carry a tune in a bucket. And critically, we have to talk about the safety rails. Because whenever we talk about AI and art, things get complicated.
Complicated is the right word. You've got technical hurdles, safety hurdles, copyright hurdles. But let's start with what it can actually do, because this isn't just an incremental update. It's integrated directly into the Gemini app, which means the barrier to entry has, well, it's effectively dropped to zero.
Okay, so let's walk through that, the user experience. Because usually music production software it's intimidating. Dashboards, timelines, mixing boards.
Right.
I open the Gemini app. What am I actually doing?
See, that's the whole shift. It's not a tool for producers. It's a tool for prompters. The core function is really straightforward. You give Gemini a prompt.
Like just text.
Text or an image or even a video. And it uses the Lyria 3 model to generate a 30-second music track. But the big upgrade here, the thing that makes it different from like the elevator music generators of the past, is the vocals and the specific lyrical content.
That's the part that blew my mind when I was reading about it, because we've had AI music for a few years, right?
Yeah.
But it was always like lo-fi beats to steady
It's
tune.
weird ambient noises.
Yeah. This is actual singing.
Correct. Previous models really struggled with the human voice. It sounded robotic or metallic, or the lyrics were just gibberish, sounds that resembled words but weren't. Lyria 3 is designed to generate coherent lyrics from your prompt. It handles complex musical structures. You can control the style, the tempo. It's a much more sophisticated tool.
And the examples Google put out, they really lean into the absurdity of it all. I mentioned the Cat Cowboy song, but they seriously had a prompt for a motivation track for chores.
Wash the dishes one.
Exactly. And a birthday song, which, let's be honest, the classic happy birthday song is tired.
It is a little tired.
The example they gave was, "Everybody go happy birthday, Lisa. Lisa, it's your birthday." And I hate to admit this, but it is catchy. It sounds like a real song.
It's what we'd call functional creativity. It's taking a mundane moment, like a birthday shout out, and just applying this layer of production value that was impossible before.
My favorite one, though, hands down, has to be the prompt. A comical R&B slow jam about a sock finding their match.
That is oddly specific.
But that's the beauty of it.
Well, it proves the point about semantic understanding. The model gets the R&B tropes, the slow tempo, the vocal runs, and it gets the concept of a missing sock.
And it smashes them together.
And it bridges them humorously. It treats the sock with the same emotional gravity as a lost lover.
And it doesn't just sound like a song. It looks like a song. Because, and I love this name so much, it uses a tool called Manner Banana to create the cover art.
I have to admit, Nano Banana does stick in your head.
Right. So it generates custom cover art for the track. You get the whole package, the audio and the visual, like a mini album release for your 30-second clip.
Which brings us to the visual input, too. We mentioned text to track, but this image to track thing is where I think a lot of people will find the magic.
Okay, so if I have a picture of my dog, let's call him Duncan, hiking in the woods.
That is literally one of the examples they use.
No way.
Yeah. Use these photos to create a track about my dog Duncan on a hike. The model analyzes the context, the trees, the dog, sunlight, and composes lyrics and a melody to match that specific vibe.
But how? Is it just seeing tags, like dog and tree?
It's more fluid than that. Gemini is a multimodal model, so it understands the relationships between things. It sees hiking and dog, and it infers an energetic, maybe acoustic, adventurous tone. It's translating visual meaning into audio meaning.
So it's not just sad music or happy music.
It's Duncan on a hike music.
That distinction feels crucial. We're moving away from generic stock music to like hyper-personalized soundtracks. But I have to play devil's advocate here.
Go for it.
Who is this actually for? I feel like real musicians might be rolling their eyes right now. Is this supposed to replace the next Mozart? Or is it just for making memes?
No, and Google is actually very clear about that. The target audience isn't professional producers. It's for, and this is their phrase, everyday fun and expression.
It's the difference between buying a professional oil painting and just putting a filter on your Instagram photo.
That is a really good analogy. Think about the nostalgia example they gave. The prompt was something like, create a track for my mother about memories of her home-cooked plantains. Make it a fun Afrobeat track.
See, that's actually really sweet. That's more than just a meme.
It is, and the result isn't trying to top the Billboard charts. It's trying to evoke a specific emotional connection for one person. It's micro-creativity.
A song that only makes sense to one other person in the world.
Exactly. And of course, that leads directly to social media, which means we have to talk about YouTube.
Of course. Google owns YouTube, so these two things are always going to be linked.
They're more than linked. They're basically married. Lyria 3 is rolling out to YouTube creators through a feature called Dream Track.
And what's that for?
The main goal is to enhance YouTube Shorts. You know how creators spend ages hunting for a song that fits?
Oh yeah, it's a nightmare. You spend 20 minutes looking for a song for a 15-second video, and then you worry about copyright strikes.
This solves that. Instead of searching a library for a song that's almost right, you just generate a vibey backing track or even a specific lyrical verse that matches your video perfectly.
So I don't have to use the same 5 trending songs as everyone else.
Precisely. You get a unique sonic identity for every single piece of content.
Okay, so we've got the what and the why, but I want to dig into the controls a little more. How much can I actually do? Can I make it sound a little more purple?
Purple might be a bit abstract even for Lyria 3. Although, who knows, being multimodal, it might interpret that as something moody and synth-heavy.
Not true.
But the input flexibility is key. Once you have a bass track from your text or image, you can refine it.
So if the first version is too slow, I can just speed it up.
Yes, you can control the style, the vocals, the tempo, but, and this is important, the AI handles the heavy lifting of composition. You don't need to know music theory.
So I provide the intent, and the AI provides the talent.
That's a great way to put it. But this is where it gets really interesting. This ease of use, it just raises all these inevitable questions about safety.
The elephant in the room.
When you make it this easy to generate human-sounding voices, you are opening Pandora's box.
For sure. I mean, everyone immediately worries about deepfakes, right? Making a famous artist sing something terrible or just ripping off their style. How is Google handling that?
That's the most critical question. So, Google DeepMind has implemented a technology called Synthid.
Synthid? Sounds like a sci-fi villain.
It's actually the hero in this story. Synthid is what we call an imperceptible watermark that gets embedded directly into the audio.
Impercept meaning I can't hear it.
The human ear can't detect it at all. It doesn't affect the listening experience. It's manipulated at the waveform level. But software can detect it. And the key is that it's robust.
What do you mean robust?
It stays detectable even if you compress the audio, speed it up, slow it down, or even record it playing in a noisy room.
Wait, really? So if I make a track on Gemini and try to pass it off as my own, a scanner could just say, nope, this is Google AI.
That's the idea, yes. And Gemini actually has a verification tool built in now. You can upload a file and ask, was this made by Google AI? And it will check for that watermark. It's all about accountability.
Okay, that covers the fake news angle. What about the fake Drake angle? Can I just type in, make me a song that sounds exactly like Taylor Swift?
No, that is a hard line they have drawn. If your prompt names a specific artist, Gemini will not clone their voice or mimic them directly.
So what happens? Does it just give an error message?
It takes what it calls broad creative inspiration. So it might analyze the genre or the mood associated with that artist, like upbeat pop with narrative lyrics, but it will create something original. It won't give you a sound alike.
That seems like a smart way to handle it. You get the vibe, but you don't get the lawsuit.
Precisely. And Google's been very vocal that Lyria 3 was trained responsibly with the music community. They have filters to check outputs against existing copyrighted material.
So I can't accidentally prompt it to write the lyrics to Bohemian Rhapsody.
It should stop you, yes. They're trying very hard to position this as a tool for original expression, not for piracy or mimicry. It's a very delicate balance.
Good. Because the last thing we need is a world where we can't tell if a song is real or not, though I guess in 2026, real is becoming a very fluid concept.
That is a much bigger debate. But speaking of the rollout, we should probably talk about who can actually use this right now.
Right. Is this just for tech people in Silicon Valley?
Not at all. It's available for users 18 and older.
Okay, so no kids making soundtracks for their homework yet.
Correct. And crucially, it's not just in English. This is a global thing. It supports German, Spanish, French, Hindi, Japanese, Korean, Portuguese.
Wow. So I can make my sock finding its match R&B song in Portuguese.
If your heart desires, yes. The capability is there.
Socks finding love in Lisbon. I see a hit.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. In terms of access, it's rolling out on both desktop and the mobile app. But there are limits.
There's the catch.
Not so much a catch, just logistics. Audio generation takes a lot of computing power. So the Plus, Pro, and Ultra subscribers get higher limits on how many tracks they can generate.
Fair enough. Bandwidth isn't free, but it still sounds accessible enough for the average person to play with.
So if we zoom out a bit, what does this all mean? We have Lyria 3, we have Nano Banana, we have Synthide. Why does this matter?
To me, it feels like we're entering the era of micro-creativity. That's the term that sticks in my head. It's not about making art for the ages. It's about making art for the moment.
I agree. It totally shifts the user's role. For decades, we've just been consumers of music. We listen to what's on the radio, what the algorithm serves us. Now we're co-creators. We can turn these tiny 30-second moments of photo, a pile of dishes, into musical memories.
It's taking the mundane and making it cinematic. You're adding a soundtrack to your own life, not just listening to someone else's.
But that raises a pretty provocative question, doesn't it? If we can instantly soundtrack our lives with AI lyrics about our pets and our chores, does music become more disposable?
If a song takes 10 seconds to make and it's about a sock, does it lose its value?
That's the fear, isn't it? That we just drown in content. But I don't know, I kind of look at it the other way. Maybe it just makes our daily lives feel a little more magical.
How so?
Maybe the fact that I can have a gospel choir cheer me on to do the dishes just makes that task bearable. It brings a little bit of joy to the boring parts of life.
That's possible. It blurs the line between content and communication. A song becomes almost like a text message, quick, personal, maybe fleeting, but meaningful in the moment.
I kind of love that. I want to live in a musical. And if Lyria 3 is how I get there, I am all in.
Just remember to check for the watermark.
Always. Well, that's our deep dive on Lyria 3 and the new musical powers of Gemini.
It's a fascinating shift. I'm really curious to see what people create when that barrier to composition is just completely gone.
I'm telling you, the Duncan the hiking dog genre is about to blow up.
We shall see. To everyone listening, go find the soundtrack to your camera roll. Try it out. See what happens when you turn your lunch into a ballad. Thanks for diving in with us.